Hi BookTube, it's Amy. I'm here with my very first video in my series on the works of Honoré de Balzac. And I read the introduction to what he calls his human comedy last night. And so I thought I would pop in here with a short video to get the ball rolling here and to talk about what Balzac said he intended to do with his body of work. So the curious thing about this introduction is that he didn't write it until he was 13 years into writing the human comedy. And I'm not sure if he had even widely used the term human comedy before then, or whether midway through here he got this grand idea that he was going to shape his works into this larger idea. But regardless of that, 13 years in April of 1842, he writes this introduction. And it's partly an explanation and partly seems to be a defense. It seems as though some people had accused him of being immoral, of being raunchy, of expressing political or philosophical views that were not his own. And at one point in this introduction, he actually says, don't mistake the opinions and actions and moral viewpoints of my characters for my own personal beliefs. And what he does in this introduction is he tries to explain what the human comedy is, what his goals are for the work, and why he's writing it. And so he takes us first to this idea of history. He wants to write a history, but not in the traditional sense of a history. Rather, he is writing a history of manners, he calls it. And so he actually says that by drawing up an inventory of vice and virtues, by collecting the chief facts of passion, by depicting characters, by choosing principal incidents of social life, and by composing types out of a combination of homogeneous characteristics, he is hoping that he can succeed in writing what he sees as this neglected history, this history of manners. So he is looking at society, and throughout his human comedy, he is attempting to paint this picture of society to show us society. And so he's looking at a history and a criticism of society. He is looking to provide an analysis of the evils of society, and he says he's also looking to discuss the principles of society. And so he's taking very much a philosophical approach to his writing. And he explains that he is in opposition to more progressive or contemporary thinkers of the day. He is in opposition to thinkers such as Rousseau, and he does not believe that society is the root of evil. Society does not corrupt. Rather, society is repressing people's evil tendencies. He appears to be a monarchist, as he says that there are, two chief prongs in society that help people, that prevent them from being depraved, from developing depraved tendencies. And these are Christianity, specifically the Catholic Church. He is making a jab at Protestantism here. He makes a jab at Protestants. So he's saying, the Catholic Church has got to be Catholic, and the monarchy. And so he appears to be a royalist. And these two things combined create an environment that encourages people to behave themselves, so to speak. It prevents them from developing evil tendencies that he says would develop with a lack of society. And so he's the exact opposite of Rousseau, who is saying that, in the state of nature, people are natural, they are good, whereas society corrupts people. And so that was very interesting to come across, because I had never thought of Balzac, and the little that I've read of him, as someone who is particularly in tune with philosophy. But obviously from this introduction, he sees himself as a philosopher of sorts, even though he is sticking chiefly to writing fiction, to writing literature. He definitely has a message that he wants to send through his work. He is trying to do something big with this human comedy. And as I read, I suppose I'll see whether it plays out here. He says that man is neither good nor bad. He is born with instincts and capabilities, and society improves him. Self-interest develops evil tendencies. Christianity, Catholicism represses evil tendencies. And he is hoping to illustrate that through the human comedy. And so as I begin to read here, I suppose I will see how this plays out, if it plays out, whether these ideas and viewpoints are apparent in the earlier works that were written in the 13 years prior to this introduction, or whether they only begin to emerge significantly, after this introduction has been written. But we shall see, I shall see. If you've chosen to come this far in this video, I'm hoping that you're going to join me for many more videos about Balzac. But if this is the only Balzac video you watch, if you only dip in now and then, whether you choose to read along with me or not, either way, I am delighted to have you with me on this exciting journey. I guess I should say that this is my personal journey through Balzac. I am not trying to take an academic analysis. I am not trying to provide you with a historical look at Balzac. I am not creating a fact-checked educational series for you. As with everything on my channel, this is me showing you my personal journey through the works of Honoré de Balzac, and I hope that you'll enjoy it as I go along.